Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Terra Tech. And on this episode, we're going to be continuing where we left off. Now, the bot, as you guys can see right here in front of us, has changed a little bit. And mainly what we went ahead and did on advice from Tamer is to flip up the protective panels. So you can see right here on the side, this is the way they naturally look. But if you take them off and you rotate them, you can make it where they flip upwards. And if you look at it, it should still direct the damage, into the panel without causing them to ricochet. At least that's what I'm hoping. Because if they do ricochet, as you can see over here, they're going to tilt down into the blocks underneath them, which for the most part is perfectly fine. Over here, it would definitely be fine. But if you look over here on this side, there's a couple little batteries under there, and if they ricochet into that, that's going to cause some serious damage. Now, because they are flipped over, I'm able to actually put weapons on them. So that's kind of cool that you get the protection at the same time you're getting a spot to put weapons on. So I don't know. I think this is the more useful method of using it. But again, I haven't gotten in any fights yet with it, and we're probably not going to get to see what actually happens because we have the shield and repair bubble on. In fact, we have two repair bubbles on. I think I need to take those out. I don't know where that extra one was from. I think it was from one of the enemies we killed last time we picked it up to take back with us. Now, at the very top, I have these set the normal way, and I just did that for the fun, just to see what would happen. Ah, crap. Are you kidding me? Every time I come in this game, this happens. Or I wouldn't say every single time, but a great deal of the time, this it resets it, and I'm not quite sure why. So, I mean, we have to go back in there and put it back to the way it was. I did put a lot more weapons on the front of my bot, as you can see right here, tons and tons more weapons compared to what there used to be because of that space. So we should kill a little quicker. Let's see if we can destroy this guy. Now, I waited and I got right up on top of him to do the maximum amount of damage. There we go. Holy crap, guys. No! That was a fuel tank, and we hadn't seen that one yet. If I was a little quicker, I would have been able to snag it, and we would have gotten credit for that one. Then we could buy it if we wanted to. So, yeah, that was my fault right there, guys. I do apologize. Now, because we're not so far down on the ground now because of those panels, we should be able to go over hills a little bit easier. And because of that, I'm going to put these wheels here on the side. That's going to give us a little bit more lift. And it's also going to spread out the weight. Like even if lift isn't a concern, if you can put on a few more wheels just to spread out that weight, then when you do go over uneven terrain, because you got to think about it, guys, a lot of the time when you do this, you may be going over uneven terrain to the point where all the weight of your bot is put on just a few pieces, just a few wheels that you have. So the more of those wheels you have, when you do put all that weight onto one side, it can kind of pick up that slack. So I try to put, just anytime I see one and I got the space for it, even if it's completely worthless, it's still taking up a spot where the enemy could potentially shoot that block and do some damage. If you have a weapon on there, it has to get through the weapon before it gets to the block behind it. So it does something. If you put a wheel on there, it has to get through that wheel before it gets to the block behind it. So throw on those worthless items that you don't really need. You do have to contend with the weight of them. Wheels, I don't know if I would say they're light, but they're definitely not heavy. And because they almost always are put on to get rid of the weight, you almost never notice like if they add anything at all, because it's not one of those things. Let's see. So he's actually moving really well now. This is a nice bot. Thank you so much for that suggestion, Tamer, because this is I thought this bot was not going to work out, and now I'm thinking he might be quite an asset because he's so friggin' protected. Even if his shields fail, like this guy's good to go. He doesn't use the same type of weapons though as the other bots, which is even better, because that means if I get a whole bunch of weapons that I'm not using like I've always been, because I've been using those stud lasers for so long, that I can be like, well, I'll just pick them up, bring them back for a bot like this. And even if I only ever use this bot because I could easily change this bot up and take the weapons off and put tractor pads all over it, and it could be a harvesting bot that's very well armored and very well protected, and still able to go out and get me a decent amount of stuff. Now here's my my airplane over here still. Did it roll down? I mean, why is it... I guess maybe it was over here, right? Yeah, I left it over here. Now, we are going to come back to that at some point and get that. Why am I getting so much lag, guys? I do apologize. There must be something really big over here that's causing it. Let's see. Yep, there's a geocore bot right out there in the distance. You can kind of see it right there. It's letting the computer see if it could catch up. It seems like once you start fighting the really, really tough bots, the bigger the bots, the more the processor of your computer is needed. And I've had this issue before in the past where, see, there it goes, it's kind of cleared up a little bit, where if there's too many things on the map, like trees or rocks or blocks, that you'll get that lag. And the fact that it cleared up the moment we left that biome definitely tends to make me believe that was the cause. Let's go ahead and kill this guy off real quick. No! Dang it, it's going to attack his fuel reactors right there in the back. Now he's trying to come over here to the back of me or the side of me because he knows that's like my weakest point, and he has me on a hill. So unless I back up, I'm not doing any damage to this guy. Now if you look at that, I'm actually repairing him because I'm too close, so I don't want to do that. Oh, there goes his fuel reactors. Yep, dang it. I wanted those too. Oh yeah, you're dead. You're dead, guys. Okay, so how much are my batteries doing right now? Let's see if we can get a good view at that. Actually, no, we cannot. That means the batteries aren't doing too hot. So let's go ahead and grab our solar reactor that I have on one side, and we'll grab our little thing over here on the other side, the wireless charger. We'll toss that on there, and while we're looking through that stuff, it's going to go ahead and charge up our batteries, which look like they could very, very much use that charge. So let's move some of this stuff aside, see if anything new dropped. What is this, 3-pound cannon? Well, it's not something new, but we definitely can use it. What about over here? There's a weapon. Yeah, there's 2 weapons. So a few of those survived. You know, I've said in the past before, and it's definitely true, that on occasion you will have one of these guys explode and all he will drop is weapons, or all he will drop is wills. And if you haven't planned ahead, then you may be missing pieces for a long time. That's why I always pick up wills if I know that I might be building here in the future, because I can use them at some point. And there's almost always places on your bot you can stick stuff, even if it doesn't necessarily look the greatest, until you find the items you really want. So don't get too carried away or too hung up on being like, oh, well, that's not the exact piece I want. Well, you can't always get that exact piece. As long as you can get one on there, you know, get that damage going rather than getting no damage whatsoever, you're definitely going to be better off, especially with weapons. When it comes to other things such as armor or blocks and wills, you can forgo that up to a certain point, but weapons, man, it makes a huge difference. You got a giant bot and you don't have the weapons for it, it doesn't really do anything for you. Your bot's going to go up there into battle, it's going to get destroyed rather quickly, and that's going to be all they wrote about it. Now this is going to be an interesting fight, because it looks like he has a few things on his back of batteries. So I'm going to try to avoid that. Let's come up here to the front, do as much damage. I don't know where his bot or where his thing is. Whoa, what is going on there, guys? What is going on? Why is he floating into the sky? Are you guys seeing this? Why is he going into the sky? Was that like build mode? What was that? Oh, guys. Jeez, there goes all the batteries. And he's still alive. He's still alive. Where are you, little dude? There he is. He's about to blow up. Dang, man. You pretty much took everything with you. Okay, so let's see. What did we get out of this? Actually, we have no space left, so let's take some of these weapons off, and we'll grab that and put that on there. Now, what is that? That is the GSO refinery. Okay, so we got a refinery. What else did we get out of this? Another repair bubble. We don't really need that. Actually, we don't really need any of this. But you know what we can do, because I don't like leaving stuff behind, is we are going to go ahead and, you know, add on to this bot and kind of do the same thing we were doing last time, which is just, you know, cover the bottom of it, put the wheels down here, and take the stuff back. And that way, at the very least, we don't leave anything behind. Or at least I hope that it works that way. Let's see. We can put these wheels on, because we do have 4, I hope. Let's put this one on over here. Let's see. We got, oh yeah, we got 4 wheels. Okay. Let's see. What about now? We're going to go back a little further, because it's not quite on there evenly. You know, like my bot's going to be a little heavy in the back because it just I didn't have enough of these yellow blocks. Let's put this on there as well. Now, in case you're wondering like how much these wheels and how much these drill bits cost, they're a lot. They're like 1700. So at this stage, even if you don't need those items, pick them up, man, because that's some good cash. That's something you can definitely use. Yeah, see, there we go. I'm really heavy in the back. I need to go. No. I'm really heavy in the front. That's what it is. I was looking at the wrong end. So I need to go here and grab this. Throw this on the back as well. Let's move that over one more. We did get a few more items over here, which are nice. Got another solar reactor. Let's see. We'll put that on there. Let's see. What is this? I think that's just a silo, right? Yeah, GSO node silo. So we're fine. We don't really need that. Got more weapons. We got another silo over here. Let's grab that. We do get a receiver. Not really. Like, we don't really need the receivers. I mean, we have too many of them as it is, but we'll take it back and we'll sell it because, again, it is worth a couple hundred. In fact, I think the weapons might be worth more than that thing at this point, but it's not a very common item compared to other stuff you might get. Ooh, what is this? Is it armor? Ooh, nice. That's my first GSO cab armor plate. Now, I could have put those things down before, but I just, I've never had a reason to put it down because I don't want, like, that goes on your cab, if you guys look at it right there. So, unless your cab is on the outside of the little area, that's, I mean, why would you want it that exposed? But if you're going to do that cab, that, you know, monster bot that's made out of cabs, all four sides are cabs, you could put that on the front of them, and that would add just, you know, that much more protection and make that bot actually a pretty serious thing to behold. Like, that would suck. You know, those guys would be incredibly hard because they already are hard. You know, and you throw those on there, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty glad I haven't found one of those dudes yet. But an interesting design, which we might actually try out because it does seem like it works. So we don't need any of these weapons. Yeah, we're good on this. Wow, guys, check it out. What do you guys think of the new design? Let's see, how does it fire? I actually like it. I think we might keep it like that, actually, guys. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Let's get some of these stud lasers if there's a few of them here on the ground. I believe there are. Yeah, a couple over here. So let's grab these and put these down on the bottom. Again, by doing that, it allows me to be able to attack smaller bots, which, you know, the weapons on the top may or may not be able to actually get to. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Let's see how many more we got over here. 3? Not just 2? Just 2 more? Well, I'll take it. No, we got 3. We passed one by. Let's grab that one. And this one. Now, remember, the stud lasers, they only fire forward. They do not, you know, move around at all. So put them on the row you definitely want them on, whether it's row 1 or row 2. You don't really ever have to worry about firing underneath the enemy. Even with the Geocore ones, you know, they never really go that far off the ground. They could. They definitely could create a bot that would do that, but they don't ever seem to. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. And at the very least, even if you did, you could always, you know, sit yourself on top of a hill with the right angle, kind of like this, where you could fire up. Or you could, you know, be on the other side where you could fire down at them, which is a really good strategy to do if you're worried about, and I think this is the erudite stuff, or erudite stuff that we were looking for. Let's see. Yep, it sure is. So let's snag a few of those, put those on the silo, because we're going to take that back to our base, and we're going to build that harvester drone. You need 2 of these crystals. We're going to take a few more with us just in case. We might want to make a few extra things. Let's see, can we destroy this? There we go. Destroyed, I think, 1 out of that, because I think you do get 3, so be very cautious about that if you're trying to get something that's, you know, not too common. You don't really want to destroy it. My suggestion would be to use your drill. The drill will chop right through it and not destroy any of it. But if you do have weapons on the front of that side, I mean on that side where the drills are, then of course the weapons will have an option or a chance to destroy that. And again, that, you know, it just sucks. So you may want to decide to build your bot with that in mind. You know, like have that idea, you know, when you first design that guy, and be like, okay, I don't want to put weapons on one side, or maybe you even can put the drills on this side over here to the left or the right, and it'd be completely useless in a fight, except for when you want to chop resources down. You can turn to that side and kind of just strafe into them and annihilate it that way. And that way you don't have to worry about sacrificing, the weapon power on the front and the back just on that one side. And of course, if the enemy is passing by, you can kind of hit them as well. It might be something we try out. It's definitely something I haven't really considered that much because, I just like having weapons all over my bot, no matter where they're at. I don't really like these drills. You got to get really close. And if you're using a shield or repair bubble, the game has been known to actually repair the enemy because they're within your bubble. And that sucks. Like you're doing damage to them, but now they're getting repaired, and they're using your fuel to do it, which means now you have less of it. So, yeah, you do have to be cautious about that. And I guess the sun has just gone down, so not going to be able to grab that. I would love to see them integrate a more advanced solar power generator, maybe working off of the sun reflected off of the moon at night, during the full moons and stuff. That would be a little complicated, I'm sure, but I don't even know if that's even a thing that you can do in real life. But if you had, a collector that was sufficiently sensitive to light, I mean, the moon is technically reflecting some of that solar light, so you should be able to charge up if it was good enough. And that would be kind of a cool thing to have the game, integrate in there. Oh, wow, we're getting a lot of lag over here, guys. Oh, it's because of this bot, maybe. Or because we're back in the middle of the forest and there's a lot of stuff to render, and I have a few blocks on the back of my thing. I can keep going with the excuses on why it's doing it. It just does it sometimes, and there's not a lot I can do about it. Let's see if we can kill this guy before it completely freaks out on it. It does look like he has some batteries on the back of his pack. I'm trying to spin, trying to keep up with him. It does seem like our bot is able to spin pretty fast, to be honest. I mean, normally you can't quite keep up with these guys when they're doing their little spin because they're just usually more agile than you are. But on this one, not so much. There we go. So he is dead, and he left us really nothing of consequence behind. That's just all junk that we've already gotten way too many pieces of. Jeez, guys, look at this lag. Oh, this is a nightmare. Let's head out actually over here into the desert and see if it clears up, because I'm thinking it's the jungle, or not the jungle, but this forest biome that sends my computer into a tizzy here and just like, no, I can't render all the trees. Stop. I don't want it. Because it does seem like it's better off when we get out of here. So let's see. Come on, move. Get us out of here. Stop the lag. It's still there. Maybe I'm too close. Let's turn fully away from that and get out here. Yeah, a little better. It's still pretty bad, to be honest. That's pretty nasty. But you know what, guys? I think I actually end the episode here. I'll try to figure out what this lag issue is. And definitely, if you do enjoy these videos, there it goes. Yeah, that's smooth as butter right there. I just had to get way away from whatever that was up there. I'm actually stuck on the top of a hill. Look at that, guys. So yeah, we need a few more wheels and a few more places so this doesn't happen. Also, if you throw in a few of these wheels that I have on the bottom of my other bot, the ones that are actually just these regular little blocks, that would help you down here on the bottom as well. That would give you some traction. I never thought of trying that, but I think we might do that just so that this will never happen again, because that would just make it an impossibility. But again, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll definitely catch you next time.